staying top of mind with somebody like that will, get your repeat referral business. So I was like, it's an interesting concept. So how do you stay in contact every single month, at least twice a year, for those 8 years without seeming like spam,
Right. Yeah, that's a fine line.
Mm-hmm. Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm Victor.
I'm Becky.
Nice to meet you, Becky.
Nice to
Here's a
meet
little
you.
packet. Just
Thank
go over
you.
some of the stuff that we'll be talking about today. Of course.
Yeah, there's a bad accident on I-25 at C470. Not a bad accident, just enough to slow the traffic down.
That's where a big portion of our agents are coming from.
Okay. Yeah, it was just two cars ran into each other and the on-ramp to I-25. So it's one lane and there's road construction. Yeah, it's fun.
Well, there's some food in the other room if you'd like to have some.
Oh, thanks.
There's yogurt and fruit and
Nice.
coffee and water.
Can't pass that up. Thank you, Cindy and Victor, for bringing that.
Sure. Victor, where do you want me to sit?
Wherever.
Is it okay back here?
Yeah, it's fine. Mm-hmm.
I just don't want to take the front seats because people might want to.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
All right. These are comfy chairs.
They
This one's back here.
Yeah.
Wow. I like that.
I like the layout of this office. It's really personal.
Yeah, it's nice.
My office, it's just so massive. It's just like, there's so many different departments. I'm just like,
Megastar used to be in this building a long time ago.
Oh, wow.
They totally redid this building.
Mm-hmm. A lot of buildings in the DTC area, I feel like, are getting a revamp. Since a lot of new up-and-coming or just modern companies are starting to make the switch over here, everything's being developed, which is nice.
Yeah.
Most of the time we
So Lily, are you part of Equity or are you part of a different firm? No.
Equity.
Okay, cool. How long have you been a part of them?
This is my 4th year.
Nice. What have you done to, like, marketing aspects? Like, what do you like to do?
I do most of my 80% of my business is by referral, and I just work on that very intensively. So we kind of all grew up with the Buffini culture here, because Todd is a trainer for him. He's a certified trainer for him, but we all kind of embrace that culture as much as we can.
That's good.
Yeah.
It's good to always.
Yeah, it does. It does. We were talking about that this morning. That how sometimes when you stop the lead generation process, how it has nothing to do with the market. You just stop the lead generating, and it just stops everything else.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people, I don't have business because the market is this and the market is that. But it's really, it hasn't been my experience in the 30 years. And I jump in an area that is very competitive because since the market picked up, I guess a lot of us got up the idea of getting a license. Even that when I started, probably the 20 agents that started with me, probably 7 of us made it.
Oh, wow.
Like 4 or 5 switched, but the rest just went into dust. So
went into what?
Dust.
Oh,
what I call it. It's just, I think they
just
don't
faded away.
Well, it's just fade away. It's just they don't realize really how much intense the work it is. And you do have to have the self-employed kind of entrepreneur kind of
attitude.
Kind of spirit, or else it's not going to happen.
Yeah, you have to differentiate yourself from everybody else, because when people refer out to somebody, they're going to refer out 5, maybe 3 names. You think? So then, how do you make yourself stand out?
It doesn't happen a lot. My niche is Hispanic culture, and it doesn't happen a lot in the Hispanic culture. It's more of a trust. It's more of a trust issue. It's actually not. If I get referred by somebody, I honestly don't even know what it is. The concept of a presentation, because I never had to do one. I start cultivating the relationship, figure out how I can help them to make sure that they make it all the way through there and continue it afterwards so they can refer me to family members or friends or whatever. But it's not as like I go to there's 3 different realtors meeting them a day, not really.
Yeah. Do you find education to be a huge role in kind of that niche of the group?
They do get the misinformation and also the fears. Or fears are completely different.
Exactly, yeah.
A lot of them are in the process of, you know, they have a social security and they're getting their green card, but they haven't made it yet. So what happens if I don't get, you know, my green card? You know, what happens, you know, with the home if for some reason. So it's kind of like a whole different scope of things. And most of it, like I said, in this case, it's more of a, yeah, do I trust you? Because the only unfortunate thing too is that I met with a lot of people that actually the past year has been a big learning even curve for me, because I didn't know that since my culture is not very educated on how it works, a lot of people pay money to hire a realtor, and they don't realize that even in the buyer side you don't pay nothing. And so it's kind of one of those things that, and I think because they've been taken advantage so much by different types of businesses and then the trust issue is a big issue. I'll tell you a great story. You know how lenders meet clients in Starbucks and stuff? Most of my population want to meet their people in their office to make sure they're legit. To make sure that they do exist. Because the first year I actually lost 2 deals because the people, like when I asked them to meet the lender, and the lender, hey, where do you want to meet? And the lender said, well, where do you live? And the lender says, well, you know, I live over here. Well, I can meet you in the Starbucks or, you know, here or whatever. And
there's this whole cyber thing, you know, ever since Facebook and they're hacking all that stuff, like a lot of online, I don't want to say online terrorists, but like just a lot of scams going around. People get really scared. Even recently, my mom's getting a lot of phone calls from like Russia. She's like, why am I getting all these phone calls from Russia? They keep sending me like letters in the mail saying I owe them money, I gotta call this, I gotta do that. And I'm just like, just ignore it. It's just all scams. You know, people fall for it like all the time, and so they're leveraging scared people who just don't know, and they're falling for it, which is sad. But I can see that whole trust. I'm actually working with a real estate company. We're doing a whole video series, 17 videos about how the real estate process works. It's all in Spanish. I understand Spanish completely, but I can't write it that well. But I understand because I'm Peruvian. But they had that same problem too. Is like, how do you build somebody's trust without even talking with them? You know, from the get-go. And so being able to establish that, I think, is one of the essential components.
And you want to hear something even crazier? That if you do have a realtor that hasn't been the most trustworthy, still people go to them instead of trying somebody new, just because they'd rather have somebody that is 50% good than try. And it's realistically, statistics show that that's how they pay, which is kind of sad.
Yeah, true. Good morning.
How are you today?
I remember your face. I don't remember your name, I'm sorry.
I know you don't.
How are you doing?
Max. Pretty good. Good to see you again.
You too. Here's a little packet.
Yep.
Okay, so we're ready?
It really is a bad accent.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah, accent, yeah. It's pretty bad. Stopping up there.
Would you like to?
Yeah. I'm Cindy Holst with Megastar
Hi,
Financial.
Cindy.
And I know Skip very well, but I'd like to get to know you guys too. But we are here to present some video marketing. And have you heard of Megastar Financial at all?
Yeah.
Okay.
I have not.
We're independently, locally owned. We have many different branches in Colorado and throughout the United States. And I'm in the Littleton branch. And I've been a loan officer and partner with Megastar since 1999, which was the inception of the company. And so I'm very proud to be a part of them. One of the reasons is because I always have successful closings, always. And that says a lot for a company, a mortgage company. So I would like to introduce to you video marketing guru, Victor Mayorga.
Yes.
Mayorga.
Hello everybody, thanks for coming by, and hello Facebook users if you are on there. My name is Victor Mayorga. I'm the marketing manager for Take 3 Technologies and Megastar Financial, and so today we'll be talking about video marketing 101 and the first steps to using videos to build your business. And I tried to kind of make this presentation a general, broad view of marketing in general. So some of these concepts you can apply to different things in marketing, not just videos. And it's a great way to kind of further emphasize all of your marketing techniques that you currently use. So to kind of give you a recap of what we will be going over today in Video Marketing 101 is, first of all, the importance of videos, why people should be using videos and how they are used effectively. The funnel, which is a great way to understand exactly how marketing works, but we're going to apply that to video marketing, how to prepare for videos, how to create videos, and then how to share your videos, because if you're making something, you got to put it out there so you can sell yourself, you know, put your content out there and you'll slowly see how your business increases. So to begin, first things first is, why are videos important? You know, we have this whole era of technology that we are currently living in. Everybody's on social media, we have different platforms that we can use, and everybody is going right now to a video first platform. I remember Mark Zuckerberg a couple years, or like 5 years ago, said that originally Facebook was a mobile first platform, but now they're making the switch over to a video first platform, and they're actually outgrowing YouTube, which was the very first video platform that we had available that kind of just changed the game. But now Facebook is changing over, and video overall boosts conversions. 74% of people who watched a video about a brand went with that brand. So if you're creating a lot of educational videos, or videos about certain products, or videos about who you are and what you do, when customers see that, they're more likely to go with you, because they get to have that interaction with you, that FaceTime, that normally you really can't have with, you know, a photo or an email text or something like that. Google loves videos. Videos are 53 times more likely to show up on the first page of Google, so it definitely increases your ranking when you're posting stuff onto your website, or even onto YouTube or other social platforms that will allow you to increase who you are and your reputation. And it's a great first impression. Yes?
So can you tell me on like Google My Business where you would post the videos, where the best place to post them is?
So Google My Business currently, like about a year ago, made the switch. You could have like a Google page and a Google My Business listings, and now they've kind of separated that. Right. So you can physically post all your videos, even photos or events or products, directly on your Google My Business listing. If you
listing?
On your Google My Business listing. First, you'll have to create yourself a Google My Business listing, verify it, and then from there, once you log on to your account, off to the left-hand side, you'll have all these different options. There's an option that just say post. And in that section, you can go ahead and upload photos, videos. If you're doing an event or you have a special promotion, you can do that as well. One thing that we do on a weekly basis is we post content about how the mortgage rates have fluctuated, and so on a weekly basis, we're going in and posting on our Google My Business listings to let our community know, hey, the interest rate just went up 0.22% this week. It's a good time to buy right now before interest rates go up. So having that continuous posts over and over and over again on your Google My Business listings will make your Google My Business listing more active and increase your ranking and show you more likely to appear on the first page. And we've been able to replicate that a lot for some of our loan officers that work with us. So if you ever type their name, their listing will show up right on Google. And so that's one of the great benefits of posting on Google My Business a lot, is having that increase of ranking. But that also applies to different areas like YouTube. Facebook as well has been incorporating, the more you post, the more likely your Facebook page is to appear. And then on top of that, it'll start linking each other together, so your Facebook and Google My Business will have a connection together, and you'll be able to access your Facebook through your Google My Business listing, which is a new feature that actually started like 9-10 months ago. So, great question. If anybody has questions, feel free to ask. I might have an answer, and if I don't, I can point you in the right direction. Okay. But videos are a good first impression, especially when you meet somebody, like even if it's a cold lead, you know, how do you make them a little bit warmer? If you just met them online, or you did an ad, you never met them before, you know, being able to send a video as part of your arsenal, and when I say arsenal, I mean a collection of emails that I store on my desktop that I can instantly send to people when I get into a particular situation. That could be a question, or that can be an educational video about a certain process, or that can be who I am and you should meet me. So having an introductory video to send off as that first email of, this is who I am, this is who you're working with, it's a great way to have a longer lasting impression, and it has a 95% click-through rate, so when you include a video instead of email, it's more likely to be click-through and open rather than one without. So just a little example.
So what are you finding, or what do you think the statistics are on the length of the video when you're doing like an introduction kind of thing?
It always depends on exactly who your target audience is going to be and what type of video or what messaging you want to get across. Normally for an introductory video, I like to keep it less than 1 minute because people have a very small span of time that they're going to allocate to something that they barely just met. Okay. So as long as you can consolidate it into a very small period of time, I think that'd be the best, like the best method to deliver that video. Now some videos I've created that are hours long, like I've recorded classes before and they're an hour and a half long because it's an educational video and they want to get a lot of information. Other videos, they can range from 3 to 5 minutes, but it always depends on what message you want to get across and then how you're going to deliver that. So I'll just give you a little example of introductory video.
I'm excited to be working together with you to create the best loan structure for your short and long-term goals for your new purchase. As we work together, I will constantly keep you updated on the interest rates and...
Hi, my name is Debbie Everly, and I've been a mortgage consultant for 37 years. So what that means is I've seen a ton of ups and downs in the mortgage world, in the real estate market. I've seen programs come and go. So what I have is a ton of experience, which is going to help you in this crazy market that...
Hi there, my name is Mike Stone with Mayorga Financial. I'd like to share a little bit about who I am and why I do what I do. First off, I believe a family's mortgage should be well integrated into their current and long-term financial goals. I believe this because I think we all suck at that.
So introductory videos are a great way to introduce yourself to someone that you've never met before. It gives them a little feel about who you are, what you can do, and it gives you that face-to-face time that normally people don't get when they're not watching a video. So I always emphasize one of the first videos to begin with is to have some type of introductory video so that when you're working with a client, you can instantly send that to them and they get to know exactly kind of who you are. So now we're going into the funnel. Perfect. So the funnel is a great way to kind of think like your customer, like who is your consumer. Oh, this is that over here. So when you're looking at a funnel, a video marketing funnel, the first step or the first way a potential customer comes in, which is a prospect, is into the awareness and discovery phase. Now during this phase, a client is thinking, I'm thinking about buying a home. I want to know exactly like if I can qualify and this and that. So they're barely getting their foot into the water. So during this stage, you want to create videos ready to bring awareness and discovery to them, to let them know or to persuade them into actually buying a home. And once that has happened, you go further down into the funnel and you're in the consideration phase. So now they've realized, all right, I want to buy a home, I'm ready to do it, but now what do I need to do? So they're considering actually working with somebody and taking it one step further. So during this top of funnel, this is where you really start growing your business, building your reputation, and doing sales. So during the awareness and discovery phase, you want to start making videos about who you are, an introductory video to kind of build your reputation, why you should buy versus rent to help them realize that they want to buy a home. Can I afford a home? So doing a lot of frequently asked questions that people start to think about when they start getting into the process. For example, when I started my mortgage process, the first thing that I thought was, will I even qualify? Do I have enough money? Is my credit score good enough? All these things started popping up. So having those videos in the awareness and discovery phase that answers or addresses some of those questions to consumers is a great way to help to lead them into consideration, because now that they're in there, they're considering working with a realtor or working with a lender to figure out exactly if they are going to turn into an actual client. So in the consideration phase, you want to start doing videos about testimonials and reviews to help them with that consideration phase of actually working with you. Videos about the buying process, finding your perfect home, different types of videos about types of homes they should buy, what area, and things like that to help them move them along the funnel to get them to be your customer. Now once they start,
okay guys, there are a lot of different concerns that home buyers have, but we're going to go over the top 10, short, sweet, and to the point. Call me at the end of this video if you have additional questions. Number 1, what's the first step in the home buying process? Well guys, the number 1 first step is go and get free.
Talent Reach is a beautiful community located in southeast Aurora, Colorado, nestled among rolling hills and beautiful ponderosa pines. Special to its strong sense of community, natural beauty, and is home to about 1,800 families. Located
today, I'm standing at the epicenter of the building boom taking place here in downtown Denver. The location, Denver's Union Station. Built in the late 1800s, this really was the transportation hub for the Rocky Mountain region, connecting the plain.
So top of funnel videos are a great way to establish your brand, who you are, what you do, and just build up your reputation to help move customers or prospects down the funnel. And so once you start reaching the bottom of the funnel, you get into conversion. So this is where you start really enhancing your process, kind of that customer experience, videos that you can potentially be making during this phase. And then from there, you go into retention. So after they've completed, your process, they finish being your clients. Now they go into the retention phase. So here is where you want to stay kind of top of mind, sending those holiday videos, thank you videos, just to stay with them throughout their whole life cycle. So then when they do repeat the life cycle or know somebody who's at the very top as a prospect, they'll always have you top of mind and they will refer out to you. So retention, I feel like, is one of the most important portions, as well as awareness and discovery, because they're a great way to just get more repeat business. So end of funnel videos, like I said, it's a great way to enhance and continue to maintain what you're doing. In the conversion phase, you want to go ahead and focus on exactly your process. So maybe you have a whole video series of how the process works to help your consumers, guide them through that process and give them that customer service that they're kind of wanting. Instructional videos to make it easier for them. So maybe you have had dilemmas where a customer doesn't know exactly how to use this product or how to search for a home. Having those educational videos that kind of help them utilize your services will enhance that process for them in the conversion stage. And then during the retention phase, this is where I think the fun really happens. You kind of you make top of mind videos. So those can be like happy birthday videos or home anniversaries, holiday videos, anything that you can send to them to keep yourself top of mind, or even event videos.
Well, we're not going to sing or dance for you this year. We just wanted to take a moment and wish everybody a safe and happy holiday season as we celebrate 20 years of being in the real estate business. We thank everybody for their support and look forward to servicing all your real estate needs.
Hi everybody, it's Jennifer. I just wanted to wish you on this cold, blustery February day a happy, happy Valentine's Day. I'm thinking about you. I love all of you, and hope you love me back. So
yeah, the retention phase is probably one of the most funnest and most creative phases that I really enjoy making videos for, because they're fun. You get to kind of make things that are a little bit different for your clients to stay top of mind. You can even further emphasize it by doing videos about partnering with different companies and doing like landscape videos, or how to organize your home, or how to anything that's just a little bit different. That's not so much about the process, but retention by far is my favorite stage to make videos for. And it's all about staying top of mind and keeping that cycle going. But overall, looking at the cycle from a big point of view, awareness and discovery, that's where you grow. Consideration, that's where you do your sales. Conversion, that's where you do enhancements. And the retention, that's where you maintain. And as you remember to keep that cycle going, you'll see an increase in your business by focusing on these areas. And overall, this, even though it says a video marketing funnel, you can apply this to marketing in general. But the examples that I gave here are just from a video standpoint. Any questions about the funnel and kind of how it works? Okay. So now we're going to go into preparing for a video shoot, which is really important, because sometimes you can't go into a video shoot and expect amazing things to happen. So we'll go over that.
Are you thinking about buying a home in Colorado? I've been living here since 1994, and I have seen the state grow so much. So here are some tips that you need to know before you start house hunting in this beautiful state, Colorado. First, before you even start looking at homes, take the time to find yourself a reputable loan officer that will help you make an educated decision on the right mortgage for you. And don't be afraid to ask your loan officer about the programs available to you. There are so many programs that you may qualify for to buy a home. First-time homebuyer programs, down payment assistance, even roommate programs. Some of these programs can save you a lot of money on down payment and even closing costs. Then, take the time to get fully approved. Colorado homes are selling like hotcakes, so you want to make sure that any offer you put on the home is a strong offer. Make sure that the loan officer you are working with has you fully approved for the home, not a pre-qualification, but a full approval, so that your offer stands out from the rest. When you are looking at homes, I would not recommend using Trulia or Zillow. The information listed on these sites are not always accurate, and you sometimes are looking at homes that have already been sold. I would definitely recommend finding an experienced agent that can give you access to their home database updated by the MLS, the Multiple affordable listing service used by real estate professionals to find you the perfect home. They can also set you up for instant notifications, so once a home that matches your criteria is put on the market, you can instantly get notified. Hope you've gained some valuable information, and happy house hunting.
So video like these just don't happen. You just walk into a video shoot and start shooting something. You really have to put a lot of emphasis in preparing for your video shoot and actually scripting your video. I always like to use scripts for my videos. There are some videos that I just do it off the cuff, and I magically, a very small percentage will get a video just like this. But this one was scripted, and I like to use teleprompters when I use my videos so I can hit every single point that I want to hit, and I don't miss anything, or I don't leave any rocks unturned. And so when you're preparing for your video shoot, you want to make sure that you ask yourself some general questions to kind of help yourself figure out what you want to put inside your video to give your video the most amount of impact that it can possibly have. Some of the questions that I like to focus on is, what is the video going to be about? Who is my target audience? Where is the video going to go? What's the goal of the video? So my call to action, it's very, very important. And then keywords and hashtags. So going over this a little bit, this video, the video that I showed you, the prices were about the increasing home prices in Denver, low inventory, etc. My audience was first-time home buyers, people that are relocating to Denver, Colorado. This video is going to go on my Facebook, website, other platforms like YouTube. And then my call to action is I want people to reach out to me, to give me a call. And so the keywords and hashtags that I'm going to use is Denver real estate market, low inventory in Colorado, experienced agent, and etc. Now that I kind of know all of these things, now I can go into writing my video script that will help me create a powerful script that is really rich in keyword heavy content that will enhance how my video is found when you post it online. So keeping in mind what I just said, first thing you want to do when you start preparing for your script is having a strong attention grabber. And what I mean by that is you want to make sure that the first 10 seconds of your video is very attention grabber-y. That's not a proper word, but you grab somebody's attention. Because if they don't, they're going to just scroll away and then watch a different video. And so instead of starting off with, hi, my name is Victor, and I do this and that, I've already lost my audience. They're probably going to switch. So instead of doing something like that, starting off with, did you know that the home prices in Denver have increased by 25%? Throwing in a statement or a fact that resonates with your audience will continue to have them continue to watch the video. So that's one good way of having an attention grabber. And then you continue on with that with a little bit more about your introductory piece. So I say that's because our inventory is low, which is why if you're planning on buying or relocating to Denver, Colorado, it's time to buy now. And if you're a first-time home buyer, even better. And as you can see, some of these words are blue, which means I'm using some of the keywords and hashtags or things that I used when the pre-planning stage to write my script, because these are triggering words that people are searching for in Google when they are looking for answers. And so being able to prepare a little bit and provide a script that has some of those triggering words increases the likelihood of your video going to be found. And so that's why I want to include that in there in my script. And then after you have their attention, you go into conversational track, or provide them with a problem and then a solution, which you are the solution. So I go into the Denver real estate market is hot, though at times it can be stressful and you might be losing multiple offers, home after home. You need an experienced agent to stay by your side to help you navigate this territory, and then you can go on with exactly how you are that agent and why, how you can help them win one of those offers. And then at the very end, you'll have a call to action, which is what do you want that audience or that person watching your video to do? Do you want them to call you? Do you want them to share the video? Should they subscribe somewhere? It's always very important to tell the audience what you want them to do after watching your video, because if you grab their attention and you identify the problem, threaten them with the solution, being yourself, then they'll go ahead and do that call to action. Yes?
So you mentioned hashtags, but you're doing a video, so where would you put hashtags?
The hashtags you would include once you post the video in the description.
Okay, all right.
And those would only normally apply for like Facebook and Instagram if you're posting out to those platforms.
So not Google.
But you can also do it not directly on Google, but on your website. When you're doing like a blog post, there's a section to do tags and stuff like that. You can put it inside there. That way it relates your blog post to those certain triggering words. So you can put home prices in Denver, buying or relocating to Denver, Colorado, inside those areas of keywords. That way when people search for those particular terms, your video is more likely to show up. And the more people use that term and they search and find your video, the more likely, or the more your ranking will increase, and then your video will show up. And this also applies to things not related to videos. So you can even be just a general blog post where you share a certain article, but being able to kind of tie yourself with these words makes you more likely to show up on Google.
Okay, thank you.
This is where your ice cream comes from. Pretty proof of a mystic unicorn. Totally clean, totally cool, and soft serve straight from a sphincter. They're good at pooping.
So attention grabber. My attention is now grabbed. I want to continue to watch the rest of the video and figure out, all right, what is this about?
Maybe.
They're good at pooping. But you know who sucks at pooping? You do. That's because when you sit on a porcelain throne, it's muscle that you kink in the hose and stops the Ben and Jerry's from sliding out smoothly. Is that the problem? I don't know. Are hemorrhoids a problem? Sitting at this angle can cause hemorrhoids, bloating, constipation, and a bunch of other crap.
So they've identified a problem, and now if you identify with this problem yourself, then you're obviously going to continue to watch the rest of the video because you're intrigued. Now that your attention has been grabbed.
But what happens when you go from a sit to a squat? Voila, this muscle relaxes and that kink goes away faster than Pegasus' lame, sweet Sherman Duke. Now your colon's open and ready for battle. That's because our bodies were made to poop in a squat, and now there's a product that lets you squat in your own home. Introducing the Squatty Potty. No, Squatty Potty is not a joke. And yes, it will give you the best poop of your life, guaranteed.
Wow, so I need this. How do I get it? What do I do? Continue to watch the rest of the video.
What I Amazon?
Truly a footstool fit for a constipated king. So if you're a human being who poops on your butt, click here to order your Squatty Potty today at squattypotty.com. You wish you tried it years ago.
So call to action. So now that they grabbed my attention in the very beginning, they identified a problem that related to it, gave me a solution which I needed. Now call to action is to go to this website and then buy this if you wanted it. So that's overall the flow of how a general video should go. And you don't always have to follow this style, but it's a great way to kind of fall back to and have a great foundation for future videos. But it always is a lot easier to kind of follow this guideline, and once you kind of start working on it and practicing a little bit more, then you can tailor off and do a little bit something different. But it's a great way to get yourself started by having a great attention grabber, problem solution, and then a call to action inside your videos. So it's the reason why scripting and creating an outline is very important. Like I said, it helps you create a very valuable video. Sometimes if you don't have a script, you forget about something, you leave something out, and then either you have to reshoot or go back, or maybe you just leave it out and you don't put it in, but then people are losing that information. So it's a great way to help provide a video of value that doesn't leave anything missed. It creates the foundation for future videos. So once you create one outline or one script, then you can kind of reuse that and recraft that message and make it a little bit different. And it also makes video sharing. You know, if you already have a script created and now you're going to share that video, then you already have the foundation kind of already built. So you can just copy and paste and put some of that information inside of the posting once it's ready to be posted. Any questions about scripting? So now that we've learned how to prepare for a video shoot, it's now ready. You're now ready to finally start creating videos. And this is by far one of my favorite parts. It's actually creating content. But one thing that I really like to emphasize when you're creating videos is it's all about the messaging. The messaging is the very most important piece about the video. If that's off, then the video is going to be off. It doesn't matter how much production value is put into the video. Messaging always has to be there, so I always like to emphasize that. And the first place to start is, just using your phone. Your phone is a great tool that everybody utilizes on a day-to-day basis, so it's a great way to kind of get yourself started and get your foot in the door when it comes to creating video content. And one of the things that I like to do when I start using my phone or getting into videos to have a higher quality video is to follow the rule of thirds. And what the rule of thirds is you draw two horizontal and vertical lines equally across your screen, and it's overlaid on top of the video. You don't see it in the final piece, but it's there just to use as a guide. So if you do have a phone, you can actually pull out your phone and actually see the grids. I always have my grids on because I like to see exactly how I composite my video, and I always make sure that I put my eyes at the very top part of the rule of thirds. So when I'm shooting my video, I make sure that my eyes are always in the top of the upper thirds. That way my video is perfectly framed. And studies have shown that when you use the rule of thirds, it just gives your video a higher quality video because it's composited properly. And when you have multiple people, putting people on intersections to kind of space things out continues with that perfect composition. So this is one tool that I always use, even for photos. I always composite things, and putting things in those rule of thirds, either in the intersections or in the lower or bottom, lower or top third, is a great way to have good composition in videos or in photography. And other than following the rule of thirds, it's always great to have a support system. So if you want to use your phone, your hand, you can do that. I like to have a cool little tripod. I didn't bring it with me, but a tripod to kind of hold your phone up so it's stable. That way you don't have that shaky motion. Will just increase the quality of your video just a little bit more. And then also it comes with a little clicker. I have this little device that I can connect it with my phone, and then I push a button and it turns on and turns off. That way I don't have to touch my phone. It's a great little device to kind of use. It's only like $20. And then from there, after you figured out the support system, then you go into lighting. So one of the things that I like to emphasize when shooting videos is you always want to make sure that your face is very well lit. If people can't see your face, it's going to distract from the messaging, and then they're going to not kind of pay attention so much. And so you always want to make sure that the most amount of light that you have is focused on your face. Your face is very well lit, and it's very flattering light. So one of the things that I always do when I'm shooting a video, even on my phone, is I like to kind of just rotate in a circle, and once I'm looking at myself, I can just see exactly where the best amount of light is. And then once I find it, I kind of just stop, so probably about here, because I have that light coming from this way. So that's one tool that I always use, is just rotate in a circle until my face is very well lit. Or I always like using a window. If you have an open window, even during a shady day like this, there's always natural light coming in just a little bit, and that's a great way to have your face very well lit. Whereas if you were to do it the other way around and have the window behind you, your face will be completely dark, and it's going to distract from the message, which that's the most important of the video, is the messaging. And then audio. If your audio is not powerful, you're not recording into your audio device, then it's going to take away from the message again, and that's the most important piece about making a video is the messaging. So having some audio device that you can talk directly in. I carry around this like little lavalier mic, which I can plug directly into my phone, and then it goes up to like 20 feet, and then I just connect this to my collar, and then I just start talking away. And that way it moves the recording device. Instead of being on the bottom of my phone, it's now connected to the bottom of my shirt, or the top of my shirt, under mouth. And that really helps just capture a lot clearer audio from your phone. That way you don't have that echo, or if your phone's all the way on the other side because you're shooting maybe like a little video during the closing, and you have a lot of distance between you and the phone, it won't just sound echoey or distorted. Because again, the whole point of the video is the messaging, and you want to make sure that the audio is really clear so it doesn't distract from the message. So when you kind of focus on these three areas, support system, having a steady footage, lighting, having enough light to cover your face, and then clear audio so it doesn't distract from the messaging, will give you a higher quality video. Yes.
And that will alleviate the wind in the background if you're outside, right?
Exactly. It also
silences.
It has like a little windbreaker. I don't know if this one kind of came with it. It doesn't. But it's called like a dead cat. It literally looks like just a furry little thing that you put on top of the microphone. Yeah. And then when the wind hits it, it kind of just softens the hit of the wind on the microphone, so you don't get that like kind of sound. Whereas if you record on your phone, you don't really have that windbreaker, so you can hear the wind kind of going by. So I always recommend having some type of external audio device. Now, if you were shooting a video just like this, you're probably still going to record pretty good audio. Maybe if you're a little bit closer, it's going to be even better. But for situations where you're walking around, you're outside, or you're moving around a lot, you want to kind of just have a better, like a recorder to have better quality audio.
Do you find that on Amazon or something?
Yeah, this one I found on Amazon. It's only $20. If you type in Amazon microphones for your phone, microphone for iPhone, or microphone for Android, it'll give you a variety of devices that you can use and just directly plug into your phone and just start recording. Some of them are even wireless. You don't like a wire. But yeah, they're pretty inexpensive devices that you can buy. I think the tripod that I have is only like $16. And it came with a little Bluetooth device that I can just turn it on and off. That way I don't have to tap it. So it's really good to kind of just have that there. And some video equipment is really expensive. Like if you go into one of our production rooms, we just have higher quality audio because we work with a lot of different types of equipment. But when you're starting to create videos, you don't want to put in a lot of the investment. You first want to see exactly, do you even want to make videos, and then making that small investment of $40 will kind of get your foot in the door and make you realize, like, all right, is it working? Is it not? What can I do to enhance it? And then from there, depending on how much you like it, then I would go ahead and do a bigger investment. But just slowly work your way out. Yeah. But the next step from making videos is obviously using video services. Well, I really enjoy using video services. I do videos myself, and the reason why is because you get to have more production inside of your video that further emphasizes your brand. So you can have branded logos, you can have animations that further emphasize your story, or it can be your whole story. Maybe you don't want to be in the video and you just want to have a guy moving around like talking. You can do that using video services. And it just adds higher production value to make your video stand out from other videos that are currently being produced by other people using their phone as well. So it's just that next level of investing into video services. The cons from using something like this does cost money, and depending on who you work for, it can be either not so much money or a lot more money, but overall it does further emphasize who you are, who your brand is, and allows you to continue to have continuous marketing with your same particular like image and brand. So being able to have your lower third or your logos throughout the video and having all your compliance slide, video service can definitely help out with doing something like that. So once you kind of grasp the idea of now how you prepare your videos, or how do you prepare for a video shoot, and then how do you create your videos, now it's time to figure out how do you put your videos out there and where do you share it to. And so one general rule that I like to follow is just share your videos. No one's going to see them if you don't share them, and you are your own brand, you are your salesperson, so the more you put out there, the more you're going to be marketing and selling for your business. So I like to always emphasize sharing videos through your website if you have one. If you don't, throw them inside your arsenal of video emails, and then that way directly when you're working with clients through emails, you can send them out directly. But always post your videos onto Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, and YouTube. If people are looking for you, they're trying to see if they should work with you. So they're going to Google you or find wherever you're at to look who you have online, because people do search for the people that they work for or people or brands they're going to buy from. So having your videos on these places will help them figure out if they should or should not work with you. It's just about growing your brand, who you are. So you want your videos to be found. I've said this multiple times, but it's true. 81% of consumers will look you up before they go with a brand, before buying something. So you want to make sure that all the content that you have of yourself is online, so people, when they do find you, they're more likely to work with you. If you have somebody that's referring to 2 different agents and you're one of them, and they have all these videos and all these things that grow their brand, and you don't have that much, then who do you think people are going to work for? They're going to work with a person that has all this reputation behind them, that has all these likes and shares and this engagement, and you can see the customer reviews and testimonials. So it's all about building who you are and who your brand is and why people should work with you. So having a collection of that online helps them become your customer. So I always emphasize about you want to be found, you want to share your stuff out there to grow your business. Another tool that I like to use is BombBomb. BombBomb is a great way of sharing your videos through emails. I personally love using BombBomb because it has some great features and also has some great analytics. You can even connect it inside of your Outlook. So if you use Outlook or if you use Gmail, you can also incorporate BombBomb within that. So that way you can record videos instantly to your customers and send it to them. You can do all your tracking to see if they actually opened your email or played your video or clicked on any of the links. And then it rates your consumers, hot, warm, or cold, cold, warm, or hot, to know exactly where they're currently at in their life cycle. Are they still in the awareness and discovery, or are they more into the consideration and second page? So being able to have all those features in one platform is essential. So that's why I always fall back to BombBomb. It allows me to send video emails out the way that I want them to. So I sent out this video email about improving your credit score by understanding FICO. So it was an educational video series about how to increase your FICO score, and here's some tips and tricks. And the whole purpose was to put it out there to show people exactly what they could potentially be doing with videos. And my call to action was for people to click that button to schedule a time with me and to make a video. And so I sent this video email out, sent it to 98 people. 57% of those people actually opened the email, which came out to be 96 of those 98 people. And then out of those who opened it, 66% of them actually played the video, which calculated to 36 people from all the people that I sent it to. And then from there, 5% of those people actually clicked that button to actually make a reservation with me to shoot an actual video. And so out of those 98, 3% of those actually clicked. So if you take those analytics and kind of apply it to different situations, so if you're sending out an email blast to your whole database, and you can see that, 66% of those people actually played your video and actually watched through that entire video, those leads are a lot warmer than the leads who actually just opened the video and didn't even watch it at all. But then out of all those people, that 5% are really hot and they really they're invested in you and they want to get more from you. So those are the types of leads that I want to follow up with and work with. So I'll focus my time and energy on those 5% rather than the 98. And being able to have those analytics behind email and video marketing really helps me figure out exactly where I should be spending all my time. So out of all these 98 people, I emphasized my time on just 3. And it worked out really well, but not being able to have BombBomb and those analytics to kind of read all that stuff, I wouldn't be able to have the power of being able to kind of enhance my business. So it's all about being able to utilize that to your advantage. Any questions about BombBomb? No.
That's a service that costs, so that's in addition to.
Yes, BombBomb. I don't exactly know the exact price on how much it costs. I know it's like a month-to-month contract, and you have to sign up for like a yearly subscription. I want to say it's around like $500.
Sure.
But they're based out of Colorado Springs, so they're a local company, and they've been really they've progressed a lot. And so I started working with them about 3 years ago when I first got into the mortgage industry, and they've changed so much. They originally didn't used to be inside Outlook. They just had no connection. But now they're inside Outlook. You can connect all your video libraries to Outlook. You can track everything through Outlook. So you don't even have to use BombBomb. It's a plugin that you can put inside your Outlook application. And that, to me, was a time saver, because in that way I can consolidate my time and not have to worry about 2 different programs. I just focus on Outlook and I can tie everything together. But yeah, there is a subscription fee for BombBomb. I wouldn't know too much. I'm not really affiliated with them. I just love them. It's a great service. So to recap overall, kind of what you've learned today is you want to make sure that you think like your prospect. What is going through your audience's mind that you can make videos for to kind of answer some of the questions that they have. And that way, when they get into that life cycle of awareness and discovery, they're looking for you, you know exactly how to deliver those types of messages to them. Always have a very strong messaging. Practice your video scripts. Start creating things that you think will grab their attention, will answer some of those questions that they have, and will be able to get them to do that call to action, which is either reach out to you or schedule a time to meet. Maybe it's a coffee, lunch, or whatever it is. You want to have that strong call to action. Preparing for your video script and having that strong message is really important. And then just start making videos. Making videos is really scary when you first start getting into it. I was really scared about it because I didn't enjoy the way that I talked, or I didn't like my voice, I didn't like the way I looked, and I get it. But once you get over that fear and you start sharing your content out there, you'll be able to see exactly the response from people. You'll see all the positive feedback. You'll see the growth in your business. And then from there, that fear will go away, and you'll be able to really emphasize doing different types of marketing that you never would have been able to do by making videos. And then just share videos out there. The more that you start creating content, the more you start sharing it, the more people will be able to find you. They'll be able to get to know you, about who you are, and you'll have people that literally come to you and say, I've seen one of your videos, and you don't even know the person. They already know everything about you. You constantly share your videos. I've had many loan officers tell me that's happened to them, so I really enjoy hearing that. And I've even had people come up to me already knowing me. I didn't even know them, but they've seen some of the videos that I've made. So it's just good to be able to constantly put out content that puts you in the best light possible. So by focusing on all these questions, like thinking about, not questions, focusing on all these steps, like thinking about your customer, having a strong messaging in your videos, just make them and share them, will be able to increase your business. So any questions overall? Because that is the end of our presentation of today.
I just have a question about, could you show me on Google My Business where you would post a video?
Yeah. So if you go into
Go ahead.
Post.
Yeah.
It's not loading. But once you go into Post, I can show you in mine real quick.
Okay.
Didn't spell that right, but here we go. So you go into post. And then once you're in post, you can just write in here what you want to write. And then here you can add a photo or a video. So you would just click and then find the item that you're looking for. And then from there, it will just go ahead and upload into Google My Business. And then you can go ahead and include a post with it. And that's how you post onto your Google My
And
Business.
that's where you could put hashtags, or do you do hashtags in Google?
You wouldn't do hashtags in Google. They don't categorize like Facebook or YouTube or Instagram does. But this would just keep your Google My Business, like make you an active listing,
right?
And it displays these businesses more often than people who aren't posting onto their platform.
Okay.
So Victor, somebody like myself,
Mm-hmm.
I just use Google for searching.
Mm-hmm.
You already sound like you're ahead of the game with something that I'm not even aware of. So.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't even know where to begin with something like that.
Yeah. So one thing that I do, and I always show people is like, so this is one of our loan officers, and when you search her, she pops up in Google My Business. So this is something that we help our loan officers do, is appear when people look for them. So tell me your name, Max. What?
Johnson.
So when people start working with you and they search you, the first thing they're probably going to do is search for your name in Google and then figure out, all right, should I be working with this agent? So being able to have Max Johnson have your listing here to just automatically appear, maybe off to the left on some of these top searches, you have maybe your website with the whole video series of how the buying process works. Maybe you answer some frequently asked questions, but being able to make yourself known, to have that reputation online is a great way to increase your business. And the only way to have yourself be found is by posting content out there and making yourself known just by online. That is just the overall, the sharing portion. What I kind of covered in my presentation about sharing your videos can also just apply to any type of content, marketing content, sharing photos, sharing what you do, sharing your clients' testimonials or how you help somebody out. It's all about sharing and putting yourself out there online, because we're in this era of technology where people are doing their research online before they even work with people. Back in the day, it used to be really traditional, where it was just word of mouth. They would just call you up, and then that's how you get business, because somebody referred you that way. But nowadays, everybody's making that switch to they start searching for people because everybody has a reputation online. And so being able to kind of have yourself found online first prior to anybody even talking with you will greatly increase your chances of turning those cold leads into really hot leads.
You're ready to tell me something, but...
Well, my question is how do you even log into that?
Yeah, I was gonna say too,
I mean, I'm sorry, I'm like you, I'm like, this is like all new to me.
Yeah, I'm kinda
So
lost too.
really, how do you even get yourself, like,
You
how do you create an account in Google, I should say?
I think what we probably need to do is ask Stacy to have a class. I don't know.
Well, this is easy to do once you understand how to do it.
Correct.
The Google My Business listings is like creating an account, just like creating a Facebook. What you do is you're establishing yourself as a listing, as a business, and then so what you want to do is go to Google My Business, and then you can find their website. I believe there's like a little area over here where it's.
So essentially what you're saying though is like, most people know, okay, you have Facebook and then you can create a Facebook business page.
Mm-hmm.
So would Google My Business be similar to setting up a Facebook business page?
Yeah, so that when people people Google you, like your name.
Right.
Then it appears that your name of your business, and then you're posting just like Facebook.
Yep.
Like,
so
I take a picture of every closing that I have with the client, and then within a couple of days or a week or whatever, a closing, then I post it to my Google My Business page. And from what he just said, and this makes sense because Google keeps sending me these emails that I need to be posting more often, because I'm posting to Facebook, but I'm not posting to Google all the time.
Another way to get your listing to kind of appear like this is posting is just one portion of the many things that will increase your listing. Another thing is client reviews. So are your clients going to your listing and then leaving reviews? Listings that have reviews compared to listings that don't have reviews are more likely to show up. So there's multiple elements that come into play when you want to make yourself be found by Google or even Facebook that can increase your chances. Posting is one component as well, linking yourself with other different websites. So if you have a website, putting that link onto your Google My Business and then having different links that click back. So what we did here for Pamela is on her website, we included her Google My Business on her website. That way her website is showing Google My Business and vice versa. We're creating links together. The more people visit her website and her listing and then go back and forth, it creates a stronger link so they see that connection. Posting is one portion, client reviews is another portion as well. So the more you have your clients going to your Google My Business listing, pushing that start navigation and going to your actual location, posting reviews about yourself and having those engagements and interactions on your listing will make you more likely to appear. So there's different elements that come into play.
So are you able to link your Facebook business page with Google?
Mm-hmm.
Because, you know, like right now, for me, people will put their reviews on my Facebook business page.
Yeah.
And I don't want to have them do reviews in 3 or 4 different places.
Exactly.
So
well, unfortunately, with Google, they have to do it themselves. You can't
put it in.
You can't put it there yourself.
Mm-hmm. Right, but I mean,
Google
if you link
Facebook,
the business page, can they access it there?
So on this one, it's not linked right now. The link you can't. You're right. You can't physically say this is my Facebook page. It has to just organically appear. Now, I think one of the ones that Mike Stone. So here on his Google My Business, you can see that it says reviews on the web, Facebook, so it links to his Facebook. We also have Freddie Banks, Megastar. His isn't popping up. We need to work on his a little bit more.
Is Mike Stone?
Mike Stone?
Is he local?
Mm-hmm.
Right. Sounds familiar.
Freddie Banks. I just want to give you another example of how it links. Here we go. So on his as well, the Facebook link is there as well. You can get your Facebook to link. Now, it took us a lot of trial and error to get these to happen, and we had to do a lot of research to figure out the naming structure of your Facebook business page has to be similar to the naming structure of your Google My Business listing, and you have to have that connection with your Facebook and your Google My Business listing so they know that they're the same thing and they'll organically just appear. And the more you have reviews on your Facebook and your Google My Business from the same person, that link will also appear as well. So that's some of the things that we've been kind of emphasizing our clients to do after a closing is to leave a review not only on our Facebook, but also on Google My Business, and then that way they have reviews from the same person and they can see it's the exact same business, and then that link will be created. So there's different ways of kind of tackling the same problem. It's a lot of trial and error.
So if I wanted to either post a video or post something on my Facebook business page, and you had that link there, would it then automatically also post to Google My Business, or would you have to do it in a separate?
Ask that question one more time again.
If I had them linked, Facebook and Google My Business, and if I put a video out on my Facebook business page, would it then?
No, it wouldn't appear. You'd have to repost.
So you have to put in new content separately in both places.
You can put the exact same content into Google My Business that you would put into Facebook, because the only thing that connects from Facebook into Google My Business are the reviews. They'll show the recommendations of people on Facebook on your listing. But when it comes to content, videos, photos, or just updates or events and stuff like that, Google wants you directly to post that onto their platform. And so when you start, working on different videos and you're preparing them and doing all that scripting and stuff, that's where that kind of helps out a little bit. When it comes to copy and paste, I like to script a lot of my items and I kind of just reword it, summarize it, and then say I already have it in a Word document. Once I've created that video and I'm ready to share it, then that's where I go in and I just copy and paste what I've already written into that description. That way it's super simple for me to share it onto Facebook, share it onto Google, and share it onto different platforms. Any other questions in regards to content?
Not content, but is this a good time to ask you, you offer services, right, for this? For us?
I offer video services. These services right now is something that we just started doing for our loan officers. It's not a services that we provide currently to external parties. Eventually that's something that we can definitely do in the future. But right now, as we're kind of marketing this new type of program, we're in the trial and error stage, so we're still kind of figuring out how all the kinks work. So we're just kind of like testing it all out. But so far our testing has been working, which is good. It's good to see that. But like I said, these services are not so hard to recreate. There's a lot of YouTube channels that you can watch that people have made these that you can easily do for yourself for free, rather than having to make that investment, you know, for X amount of dollars to have somebody do this for
So
you.
we can come to somebody like you, sit down with you and talk about it.
Yeah, I
Starting this?
can definitely show you kind of how to guide you to how to do something like this, because it's super simple. Yeah.
You have
Yeah,
like
there-
compensation packages for yourself?
For like educational and training and stuff like that?
No, just for you sitting down with us and showing us.
I provide that service as just education. I like to help people out and guide them through the process of how they can market themselves. So that's something that I've just always learned from like business development standpoint. It's always good to help other people grow their business, and that's how, you know, referral partner works.
And you want us to use you, right?
Of course.
What's the deal?
Well,
Correct?
yes.
That would be nice. That's the point, yes?
It's all about helping each other out. So
Yeah.
we're here to help
I'm
you guys
happy to
grow your
help
business.
on anything
So,
I can do.
yeah.
Excellent.
Any other questions in regards to Google My Business or Facebook or videos or content overall? I have a lot of knowledge, I feel like. People always ask me a lot of questions, so if I don't know something, it's good to ask me so that I can realize what I don't know and then potentially figure it
Do
out.
you still have the first video you created?
Yes, I do. It's probably somewhere on this external hard drive, and I look back and I'm just like, God, that was so horrible. Because it's really hard making a video. And you start looking at yourself, and you start criticizing yourself, and you start like, there's a lot of judgment, and it's really hard to get past that point.
It's overthinking, I think, a lot of the
Mm-hmm.
stuff.
And I think at the very beginning, I had a really hard time sharing my videos because I didn't want to share it, but I was physically forced to. I had to do it. That was my job. I had to get out of being behind the camera, and I had to just share my content out there, because I can't tell people you should make videos, but I don't make it or I don't share them. You know, that's kind of ironic that I don't do any of that. So I've been training myself to just put my content out there. So I don't really care what I look like or what I sound like anymore. I have videos where I look like a mess, but I need to get this message out because I need to work with somebody, and so I just put it out there. And I've always just kind of had that attitude now when I make stuff, which I feel like has helped me grow my business because I'm not really scared anymore. Making videos helps me do presentations like these. I used to be really scared about doing presentations, but now I get on camera all the time and I'm just like, yeah, whatever. So
They're natural now.
yeah.
So you work for Megastar?
I work for Take 3 Technologies, which
I'm
is
sorry, what's it called?
Take 3 Technologies, which is a subsidiary of Megastar Financial. It's a technology company. We provide mortgage applications for loan officers and not real estate and title rep people, but our marketing services, we do provide that for real estate agents and title rep people within the mortgage industry. We have our own loan origination software in our CRM system. It's called Loan Maps, helping loan officers process loans throughout the whole process. It makes it super simple. I think we can get like an approval, like, what is it, like 20 days? It's fast.
It's very fast.
Yeah, and so we really rely heavily on technology because it makes our loan officers, it makes their job a lot easier, and to get more pre-approvals out as fast as possible, and getting out offer letters too. So we have that, and we also have the Rule Tool, which is an agency. It's like a dictionary for loan officers about agency regulations. And then we have our marketing services. So, yeah. Do a lot of fun
That's
stuff.
pretty awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to you, Victor.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Because I think it was about 9 months.
Mm-hmm. When I was working.
Seems like 9 months that I took a class from him. And there were only 2 people there, right? And you've come a long way. And then this was much more in depth. So
I definitely, the more
we
you do it,
appreciate you coming here.
Of course, thank you.
Yeah.
I learn a lot. I'm always about learning and educating and helping people and helping myself. I've watched a lot of videos online and just trained myself because I know that's how you grow your business. I'm all about the education portion and working with other business development gals that I've worked with in the past. That's something that I've found of value, being able to provide something of value to people, not just nothing. So I always cherish that. So for being able to provide presentations like this, help you guys, spark some interest or see what you can do to grow your business, it's all about.
Well, no, and I gotta tell you, I've been through about 6 video classes, because it's been one of those things that you need to do videos, and you need to do videos, and you know, but this is a lot more educational that I have received. I can see myself actually doing a video now.
That's good.
Which is a different story, because it's more that of just, like you said, how do you prepare for it? And it's the simple fact that you just told me there's a microphone that you attach to the cell phone, I didn't even know such things. I mean, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I seen the tripods or the sticks, but
Mhm.
I just never realized how important it is, the light or anything else.
Mm-hmm.
So-
There's a lot of moving little pieces, and feel free to reach out if you need some assistance or
Thank
anything
you
like
so
that. But the first step is always getting over that hurdle of, all right,
Believe
I
it.
can do it. I gotta make a video. Getting over that
Yeah.
fear, and that applies to a lot of different situations, not just video, but just like I saw this one video about this guy. I don't remember his name, but he talked about everybody is always talk, not a lot of action. You know, people who are able to grow their business are the ones that are doing all those actions. And so once you kind of stop talking and just start doing what you say you're going to do, is when you start seeing that increase in business. And so I've always been about, I do talk a lot, but when I do take actions, that they're really important ones. And so just being able to get over that hurdle of, I can do it now, this is what I'm going to do, and have that strategy. Mm-hmm.
Quick
Yeah.
question. So, to keep it as simple as possible, if I'm just starting out
Mm-hmm.
and I really do, I mean, I've just created a Facebook business page.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm thinking about doing an Instagram one.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just getting started. If I make videos,
Mm-hmm.
which platform do you think, if you had to choose one,
Mhm.
would be the best one to start putting a video out on that would get recognized the most and probably help me the most?
I'd say Facebook. I'd say get rid of Instagram because it's going to just be a time suck that you want to focus more of your time on doing sales. And personally, if you're just starting out, I don't know if I would even recommend starting making videos. Figure out exactly what you want to do to begin with, and then have that strategy. So like, where does your business come from? Do you need to get new leads? Do you need to make new referral partners? Figuring out where you are currently at, and then making the marketing for that current situation. Because if you're not currently active, you don't currently have a lot of agents or referral business or loan officers, you need to focus on there. So having different materials that can help you grow your brand, help people figure out they should work with you, focus on those areas. But to get back to your question of where you should invest your time, I would say Facebook, because people are going to first look you up on Google or look you up on Facebook to see exactly kind of who you are and what you do and if they should work with you. So having that place where people can kind of land onto you and get to know a little bit more about who you are and what you do will be able to make them more likely to work with you. So I would say focus on that, and I wouldn't even look at Instagram right now. I have many people who say like, I want to do a YouTube, or I want to do this, or I want to do that, and I was just like, focus on just one thing and don't spread yourself thin for all these other places, because you're going to be creating stuff that you're not going to be using. People are probably going to find it, and just, it causes a bad impression if you're not posting anything on one certain site and they're just like, oh, she's not active.
That makes sense.
So being able to just focus on one and utilizing that to the best abilities, and then that way people, when they do get to it and they do find it, you have a higher chance to actually work with them.
Okay, so, and if they Google me, my name, then my Facebook business page should pop up somewhere.
Potentially.
There.
Mm-hmm.
As long as I'm doing it correctly.
Go do it yourself. So what you said to us was really helpful to me, is think like your prospect.
Mm-hmm.
So I've had people before say, well, where's your presence? Where can I verify your credentials or whatever? And we have a couple of websites, or not a website, and a couple of places where we have our referrals, referrals, not referrals, reviews. And he went in and he Googled it, and what I noticed is that I didn't even know when he asked me that question. It was like, oh, well. And so then I've spent time taking classes and getting information and working on my Google, my business page, and just making sure that when my prospects are looking at that it's up-to-date information, and that I'm posting, whether it be to, like you said, Facebook or Google or whatever, but that you're actively at least working one area.
Mm-hmm.
And you can get spread thin. I mean, there's so many places and so many things that you could do that you'll get inundated with just that. And so I like your idea about, that's a really good idea, is choose one or two.
And focus on those.
And focus on those.
Yeah. I think that's a great point, because then once your people find you, you're going to have an audience, you're going to have a presence, and that's kind of how the connection starts, and it starts working. And there are different things you can look at too, like you can even upload your database to Facebook and start nurturing some of the leads or the database that you've had in the past to potentially show them like different videos or different graphics to kind of make yourself known, or you can find new potential audiences through Facebook. I mean, there's so many different routes you can take, but the first step is getting it started and just continuously getting yourself into that schedule of posting content out there, showing people what you're doing, even if you're just going to a coffee shop, you know, and having some coffee with somebody, you know, taking a picture of that coffee cup and tagging yourself in that area, you know, that you're potentially trying to get business out of, and kind of making yourself known within those establishments, be partnering with small businesses to, you know, provide some type of value for potential customers. It's all about how you kind of market it, but that first step is just getting it all started. One thing that I've been thinking about is doing a whole video series of like, you know, doing landscaping videos or doing like DIY organizational videos, or, you know, if maybe partnering with a plumbing company and doing a whole video series of how to check your pipes, you know, just very small things that consumers will find of value later on once they've already gotten a mortgage, because at that point they don't need more mortgage items. They've already done that, so they don't need to know that anymore. But how do you then stay top of mind with your current or past clients that you could potentially get more business or more referral business out? So at that point, you want to start thinking about, like, you know, maybe it's, you know, you do events at the movie theater, or you might be go to lunch one time and do a whole gathering of just past clients. Just different things to kind of keep you current. So, any other questions?
No, just one comment too on videos, just as a caution, and I don't know if it's the same in the mortgage industry or not, but if you're making a video, you know, there's a one-click rule in terms of tying it to the equity brand. So you either need to make sure that somehow in the video you embed something about equity, or at least put it in a platform that with one click they can get back to knowing it's an equity thing. And sometimes if things get shared, then you get away from the one-click rule. So when I do my videos, I always try to somehow embed equity right into the video, so that there's always that association wherever it goes.
One thing that we've done to kind of tackle that, having like a compliance line at the very bottom of your video that just has all your compliance elements throughout your whole video, that will definitely help with that. We also included our compliance elements inside of our story on Facebook. So on Facebook you have an About Me section, and in there you can add in all of your compliance elements, but when you share your content you lose that section of it. So being able to have the videos that are branded with your brand will kind of help with that compliance piece, and that's something that we've always emphasized on people to do, is having those compliance elements there. The last thing you want to do is to get some type of fee, so, you know, with anything.
Trouble.
And yeah, in trouble. And those hurt. Yeah, a good point. Yeah.
Yep.
Well, thank you guys. If you guys have any other questions, feel free to stop by and ask, but it was great.
A lot of good information.
That's good. I always get a lot of positive responses after my classes, which I really enjoy. And sometimes I don't know some of the questions, then I'll write them down, but today I need them all. That's good.
And you can go on Google, how to set up my business page.
Yeah.
My Google business page. And literally, like, I am not very tech savvy at all, but I go in and I have one question. I just put it in Google, and literally they give you step by step.
Really?
If not a YouTube video, there's so much out there that shows you, you know, how to
do it.
How to do it.
Yeah. I love YouTube. I've learned so much from YouTube.
Oh yeah, me
And
too.
normally when you just...
It's time consuming, but once you learn it, you know.
Well, you know, and it's funny too, you were talking about when you do videos and you become critical of yourself. You know, in my previous life, I was typically filmed a lot for interviews on the news, and I always made it a point never to watch, because I know my tendency was, if I wanted to become critical